can get so overwhelming. Looking for a meaning when it won't make sense. In my head it's getting
Multi-platinum, Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and actor Josh Groban has been busy. He co-hosted the Tony Awards, spent 2 years writing and working on his 8th studio album, which he just released. It's called Bridges. This is one of the songs from the album, by the way. He also starred opposite Tony Danza in a brand new Netflix show. It's called The Good Cop. He's about to go on tour, and here to talk about all of this is Josh Groban. Thank you for being here.
Better busy than bored.
That's true. And I mean, let's talk about Friday. That was a big day for you.
Man, yeah.
You dropped your album, Bridges.
Yeah.
And then you also had the premiere of the show, The Good Cop.
Yes.
On purpose?
You know, it wound up kind of happening very serendipitously. Great Scrabble word. I was working on the music, and then out of the blue, I got an offer to do The Good Cop. I did not even know it was being made. I didn't audition. I got a letter from the creator, Andy Breckman, saying, I wrote this with you in mind. And so I said, you know, this is an incredible door that's opened. I'd love to go and try to tackle this. I'd never taken on a lead role in a show like this before. So I put the music to the side for 4 months. I went to New York. I shot with Tony, which was such an incredible experience, and so happy the fans are digging the show. But then after I was done wrapping on that, I went back in the studio. You never know when Netflix is going to put out a show. You slide under their door, and that's the end of it. And it just so happened that they said, oh, by the way, we're coming out with the show in this three-week period. I was mastering the record saying, well, we're coming out with the album in that 3-week period. So it actually kind of happened by accident.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the show since you mentioned
Sure.
it. I watched it as well. I watched the first episode.
Oh, cool.
And it was really nice to see you in that role because I don't think I've ever seen you do anything like that before.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the show with this relationship
Sure.
with Tony Danza, who plays your dad.
Yeah. I mean, it was so fun kind of diving into that character. I appreciate Andy saying that he thought of me for the role, but I really had to leave myself at the door to kind of tackle this guy. And, you know, it's a father-son, you know, very character-driven show about a pathologically honest, rule-abiding homicide detective who lives with his very dishonest, kind of criminal former detective father, played by Tony Danza. And, you know, it's one of those shows that every episode's a new kind of crazy mystery, and it's very much about, you know, the family friendliness. We're not trying to out-grizzly the other cop shows, but it's got a lot of heart and it's got a lot of humor and wit.
It's very funny.
And we had a great time doing it.
Let's talk a little bit about working with Tony Danza. Did
Sure.
you grow up watching Who's the Boss, by the way?
I was a little young for Who's the Boss, but I wound up watching it later. Once I got a little older, I started to watch those reruns and got into it. So yeah, no, absolute legend, that guy. I mean, he's got such a history, and he brings that to the set, and obviously has so much experience under his belt. It was really very helpful to work with somebody that obviously that legendary.
Let's talk about Bridges.
Sure.
So your album just dropped again on Friday.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about the songs on this album, 9 out of the 12 songs you co-wrote.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you had a lot to say.
Well, I had a lot to say, and I had a lot of time to say it. The nice thing about having released previously a musical theater album and then going and doing a year on Broadway was the time between my last original music record and now was like 2013. So, you know, I had a lot of time to live life and to come up with a bunch of different possible hooks in my iPhone. And, you know, there are some times where I kind of want to put the songwriting hat away and just be an interpreter and sing classic songs. And there are times where I'll walk into the studio with a producer and just say, hey, I've got a ton of ideas. Let's just see what sticks. And, you know, out of about, I'd say 50, you know, you hope you get 9 good ones, and that's kind of what happens. I was very lucky that that's how many made the record.
And you work with some incredible talent as well, Sarah McLachlan, Jennifer Nettles, Andrea Bocelli. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect on the album with those collaborations.
Sure. My favorite thing as a singer is to work with other artists in a duet capacity because you can really create something together that neither of you could create by yourselves. Sarah McLachlan has been just somebody I've admired so much musically and personally for so many years. We sang, she came on tour with me a couple summers ago, and we sang the Snow Patrol song Run every night on tour, and it was always the highlight for me to sing that with her. Blending my voice with hers just, it gives me the feels. It gives me the feels, and I don't normally like get like emotional when I listen to myself back, but if I listen to myself with Sarah McLachlan, I was sitting in vacation re-listening to the mixes. I was just like, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it, Sarah McLachlan. Yep, thank you for that. So
you're in the fetal position.
I totally just rocking on the floor
with your own song. I love it.
That's right. And Andrea Bocelli, that's a song 20 years in the making. My big break with David Foster was being called in at 16 years old to stand in for him at the Grammys. And for all these years later, to have our first recorded duet together is just means so much to me.
You know, you sing in Spanish, you sing in French, in Italian. I mean, when you're singing the lyrics in a different language, I mean, do you assign it the same meaning, or how does that work when you sing every lyric with emotion?
Well, it's not, you know, English is my first language, and so, you know, whenever I tackle a song in another language, there's a lot of homework that goes into it. I work with a coach. I make sure that it's learned fluently, you know, so that I can close my eyes and know the entire thing and tell the story the same way I'd be able to tell it in English. But the great thing about singing in other languages as a vocalist, especially with the classical training that I've had, is that it really opens up my voice in different ways than English. And you know, when I tackle a song in another language, it changes the fluidity of the melody. It changes how I sing my vowels, and it changes for my audience how they interpret a song. The crazy thing is, I could sing a song in Italian or French for an English-speaking audience, and if the intent is there and the emotion's there, they will pick up on what the song is about, even if they don't speak the language. Then that's the crazy, wonderful thing about singing foreign songs. And so I've done it since my first album, and I always enjoy putting a few foreign language songs on my albums because I think it really represents the full picture of what I like to be as a vocalist.
And you're going on tour October 18th.
Yeah.
So I mean, things are just about to get even busier.
Canadian dates, hopefully. We're going to be planning some Canadian dates after the first of the year. So we're really excited to hit the road, back in arenas. Really exciting. This is a very high energy album, so to have that in a big venue and to be going out with Idina Menzel is a thrill.
I can't wait to hear more from the album. We want everybody to go check it out. It's available now, Bridges, and also don't forget to watch the Netflix show.
Everything's streaming. Stream the TV shows, stream the music.
Yes.
It's just lots of stream.
I heard you actually didn't even see any of it until Friday.
That's actually true. Netflix sent me, because they have a policy, you're not allowed to like watch any dailies, or if you're an actor in a Netflix show, like you can't watch anything while you're shooting. And it was my first time doing anything like this, so I was really curious, obviously, to see like, how do I look on camera, you know? So I got a link like a month ago, but my link didn't work. So I've been binge watching with my fans.
That's awesome.
I really like the show.
Yeah, I like the show too.
I'm super into it.
Looking forward to seeing some more. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you so much. Thank you.